bada boom, shabba-da-ba. Well, yeah. Oh, no, that's my lighting. Down, yes, over. I do love. This is true. Yes. Boop. Beep, boop, boop, beep, beep, beep. Yeah, baby. Hope y'all are doing good out there. It's been wild in Dump Truck Land. I'm really excited to be back at it in another episode of the I Speak Good podcast, where Dump Truck simply schedules his time to hang out with people he loves and knows. And it feels like that on the inside. So, I mean, there you have it. Love it. Welcome again, everyone, to the I Speak Good podcast. My name is Dump Truck. I'm the one that does most of the talking around here, and I'm really blessed to have this outlet to speak to people that I know and love. That's really what it's all about. Later on, we'll be catching up with my friend Adam Colborne, who is responsible for a lot of really, really cool things in the motorcycle world, in the hot rod world, just like in the world. And he's local to here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Somebody I've gotten to know over the last couple of years, and I guess that's what it takes to become a podcast. It's just be cool, baby. As far as whatever I think cool is, I guess. I just think I love it. I like the purple. I think it's working. It makes me feel good. So a little bit of a hiatus, back on the tip of having an episode every other week, as long as I can keep the schedule going. And you know, it's been a lot. Like, I've been gone. It's been for very good reason, but man, it's been a hustle. One I'm wildly grateful for. I just now started working with a great company, TC Bros. They make a lot of really great parts for Harley Davidsons and other motorcycles, and they're out of Ohio, and they've got a big operation going on there, and that kind of dropped out of the sky and turned into a really real thing, and it's been really great to have my creative juices flowing with a company that has vision and is excited about what they're doing. And yeah, it's a lot. It's required some travel, some adjustment. I've had motorcycles break on me. There's been Tennessee Motorcycle Music Revival going on since the last time we spoke. It's been a lot. You know, I've been on the FXR, which means I've been breaking it and fixing it a lot, because apparently that's what FXRs do. But she's great now. Stay tuned. Yeah, I mean, it's been really great. It really has been. I haven't slept a whole lot as of recently. Like, there's no sleeping in mornings. Like, it's been kind of 7 days a week, between all the travel and working for my own company, and then also Urban Works Speed Shop, traveling to MC some things at Tennessee Motorcycle Music Revival, getting to be a part of 2-Bit Moto Show in Utah for the first time. And I tell you what, that event right there, that's fresh on my mind. Like, I was there a week ago in Ogden, Utah, and it's brought together by Levi Welch, who is known for his media and content and motorcycle buffoonery and fantastic attitude. And also Tucker Speed, Tony Tucker and fam. And they put together a really cool show in Ogden. And I didn't know how cool downtown Ogden was. But they've got some great historic buildings there. They've got a beautiful venue, and their community is awesome. And the main event, it felt like to me, was the auction of Simpson motorcycle helmets that were custom painted by a huge pool of talent. Like, There was not a single mediocre helmet there, and all of the funds went right back to the local community, 100%. So there were 20 helmets. The year before I was there, they raised $4,800. And the money I cannot remember the name of the philanthropy. I'll have Tony on here soon to talk about it. But it all goes towards underprivileged youth, people that don't have a place to go whenever they're growing up because their parents work or they're not present or both or whatever the case may be. They have a safe place to go and study and play and learn and just be, I mean, a meal comes with it. They know that they're getting fed. So there's help for parents out there that are having a hard time doing their job. It takes a community. And that's something that I got to be a part of. And that is one of the most beautiful things about my travels in this motorcycle world. It's the things that are bigger than you that you get to represent or facilitate or instigate, that make it like worth the trip. It's not the paycheck. Paychecks are great. I love groceries. All these lights and stuff that are on, they don't happen on accident. But it really is about being a part of something greater than you. You can see my entire event schedule, and not one event is on that schedule that I don't feel truly connected to. Mama Tried Show. It's a beautiful gathering of motorcycle people, motorcycle culture, custom culture in general. You got 2-Bit Moto Show, amazing vibe. We raised over $10,000 auctioning helmets to help the local youth, be supported. It was amazing. Four Corners Motorcycle Rally. Fantastic group of people. And the event is sick. And if you like riding at motorcycle events, you need to go to Four Corners Motorcycle Rally. Not every rally or event or camp out or whatever is built about riding. Sometimes it's all about gathering, doing stuff, and then riding. But my favorite events are about gathering and riding and doing stuff and then going home. And that's Four Corners Motorcycle Rally. Man, you got to make it out to that. You just do. And this year I get to be a part of Hot Bike Tour again. Hot Bike Tour is coming back. It's in October. I want to say it is October 1st through the 4th. And so look at the Oracle here. Boom, boom, boom. It is October 1st through the 4th. Starts in Phoenix, Arizona, and it is a 3-day trip to Vegas with stops at Trask Performance, their new place in Phoenix, and a stop at Kraus Moto in St. George, Utah, and parties all along the way. I mean, the best kind of events are focused on riding motorcycles, and Hot Bike Tour is a power tour. It's all about riding. You meet up and leave, and meet up and leave, and meet up and leave, and you do it together. It's pretty damn awesome. Rebuilding my FXR right now for that show. And that's, well, I don't know. We'll see what it turns into. It's like a fat man at a buffet. I have some experience here. Your eyes are huge, and you just don't know if your stomach matches. So we're going to see if my wallet, AKA my stomach, matches my eyes. Got all these grand plans for this FXR. It's the FXR that I ride and I love and I've had for years now. And it's always been meant to turn into a performance FXR. Right now it's like chopper vibes, real chill, kind of laid back. It's time for some tall suspension and some more go-go juice in the motor and things like that. Maybe some custom touches here and there. So that's really fun. I do want to thank you for listening to the show. Thanks for being here. I mean, so far you've made it a whole 9.5 minutes. Wow. I really am stoked. I really appreciate everyone's support. It really helps. It really helps me get back in this chair in a big way because, I've been busy and that's never going to stop. Hopefully, if I keep doing something right, it's never going to stop. I don't want this show to have any hiccups in its frequency though. So I need to figure it out. I need to manage my time. I need to prioritize this even more so than I already am doing. I'm not going to tell you all the other stuff that's on my list of things to do before leaving in the morning on a motorcycle trip to Nashville that are not getting done because I prioritized the podcast. But that's what you have to do. Decide what's important to you and then treat it as something that's important to you. You know, I mean, your best friends, your girlfriends, boyfriends, significant others, your family, your car, truck, motorcycle. You know, I mean, treat them like they matter. They'll respond really well to that, turns out. And that's how I feel about this podcast. I want to treat it like it matters, because to me it does. Like, I really love being able to share these stories with you. I get to be in the story and get to learn more about people that I don't know as well as I would like. And it's this whole podcast, I've said it before, it's like a ploy to actually get to talk to my friends, because I'm always on some other planet. But I mean, like, the planets are good. I like hanging out on them. It's pretty good stuff. Well, I'm really excited to introduce everyone to my buddy Adam. And so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring him in the room. And right when we're done, we're going to finish off this show with some hotline calls, if I have any. I don't know if I have any. It's been a while since I've done the podcast. So we've been down for about 5 weeks or so. So we'll see if there's anything on there. But here we go. Wow, here we are. I am super excited to be joined with my buddy Adam Colborne, who is a man that wears many, many, many hats. He is a media producer, an event producer and promoter. He is in love. He rides Road Kings, and he's better looking than me. And you got your hands in a lot of different pies, and you're just wonderful to know as a person. And we're both in the same city, even though we're not in the same room. That was one breath.
Oh, yeah, that was impressive. One breath too, man. Nice entrance and welcoming on the show, man. Thanks for having me, Dump Truck.
Absolutely, dude. Well, it's like, we've known each other for almost 3 years now, because I've lived here for almost 3 years, and you were one of the first people from the motorcycle community that wasn't affiliated with work. I kind of was, but not really, that I actually got to meet and know. And then I started to learn more about you as I professionally stalked you on the internet. And it was like, whoa, this dude's really doing some stuff. He's not just a really nice dude that rides a really cool Road King, and I really do like your motorcycle.
Thank you, man.
You'll have to send me some photos so we can show some people on it. We'll talk about that bike here in a little while, I'm sure.
That's right.
You got Motor Pickles in the background. You got Foundation Moto Co. Speaking of projects that you help spearhead, and then let's just talk about that. What is it that led you to where you are at this profession of media production extraordinaire?
Man, Dump Truck, you hit the nail on the head when you started off saying I'm a man of many hats. And my man of many hats journey really started in 2009. I came out of school. I came out of Old Dominion University in 2000, at the end of 2002, beginning of 2003. I was on the men's soccer team there, and I came out with a sports management and marketing degree. And the very first agency that I landed with right out of school back then was they managed and ran a bunch of NASCAR motorsports programs.
Oh, cool!
And right out of school, man, I merged my upbringing through all things sports and athletics and just drive and determination and that go-getter attitude and knowing how to work with people and other personalities and mixed with like-minded individuals and I took all that kind of mindset and expertise of growing up through athletics and playing a lot of sports, and so I took that mindset with my degree into my first opportunity right out of school. And man, I hit the ground running, man. Right out of school, I had the opportunity to manage the GM Goodwrench account in the truck series with Ron Hornaday and Matt Crafton back in the day. And then
that is amazing.
It was really, really cool. You're talking 22 years old, right out of school, getting to manage the GM Goodwrench account in the truck series. And then the very next year, I got promoted and took over the AC Delco account in the Busch series. And at the time, my driver was Clint Boyer. And then right after that, the very next year, I got promoted to go back and manage the GM Goodwrench account in the Cup Series, and my driver then was Kevin Harvick. And so literally, you're talking like right out of school in your early 20s, getting thrust into the NASCAR world. And at that time, man, NASCAR was like this, and it was growing, and it was at its, at its peak as well. And even in my classes in college, all my professors in college were like, NASCAR is the absolute best like breeding grounds for all things sports and marketing and media. And man, I really went into my first 3 years out of college as a sponge in that NASCAR world. And it just opened my eyes up to all things marketing, all things branding, all things communications, all things media, all things events. And man, at age 29, I realized I'd had enough in the big agency world. That first agency that I worked at was Champion Sports Group, and it was heavily focused in NASCAR. And then after that, I went and worked for Taylor Global, and that portfolio of clients opened me up to a whole new world. And man, it's been an amazing journey since coming out of college, at age 21, 22, and then at age 29, I left that world and started my first company. And man, here I am, 44 years old, after starting my first company at age 29. And I pinch myself every day, Dump Chuck. I really do, man.
I love that, dude. It's very rare. I mean, congratulations, because that's a fast track. That's not a common path for people. And especially nowadays, as people come out of school, there's not like a job market sitting there waiting for the things that they've been learning about. So
Yeah.
to be at that period of time to where, that path, immediately led to an opportunity that you've already been nurturing while you were getting educated and being at that level of sports, like the motorsports at that level. I mean, the budgets are real, and the
Yep.
intensity, it's all about the intensity. That's why people watch it.
Yeah.
So you're signing on for, I mean, this extremely effective, extremely, historic, fast, intense, high dollar, fast paced world. And I mean, that's got to be an amazing way to cut your teeth.
It
Like,
it, it
you have to
was,
learn
man.
something
Like,
about every 45 seconds.
yeah, yeah. NASCAR gives you everything. It gave me everything back then, and NASCAR still gives you everything to this day in terms of, the business around the sport. You can learn so much from it, and I certainly did. And back then we were also cutting our teeth in all things TV film as well, and we were producing. Me and my business partners here at Wheelhouse Media. Back then, we were producing a nationally syndicated motorsports TV show called Three Wide Life, and it became one of the biggest, nationally syndicated grassroots motorsports shows across the country. And we parlayed that success of that TV show into starting Wheelhouse Media in 2012. So I came out of the real world, the real agency world, in 2009, starting my first business. And then me and some business partners started Wheelhouse Media in 2012, and we've not looked back since. And Wheelhouse Media is, man, I've been able to combine so many passions here. I mean, I'm sitting in a portion of our studio now, and it's
a rad place.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Yeah, you've been here, and I can't wait to have you back here. And man, to be able to combine my passions for all things film and TV, and my passions for all things motorcycles, man, like to get to do that at the most grandest scale, I don't even feel like I have a job, man. I'm just living, Dump Truck. I'm just living, man.
Keep up. So which came first, the love for media or the love for motorcycles?
The love for motorcycles came first, man. I was born and raised out in the country in Greensboro, North Carolina. A lot of land, and got my first four-wheeler at age 3, and then I got an XR200, an old Honda XR200 at age 10. I couldn't even touch the ground, at age 10. Couldn't even touch the ground. The only way I could go out and ride my dirt bike at age 10, this big XR200. My dad had to hold it for me and pick me up and put me on it, and then off I went, man. So yeah, I grew up on dirt. I grew up on dirt, and then I had sport bikes in college, and then I wanted to get that speed demon stuff out of my system in my 18, 19, 20-year-old range, and but that was really cool. I was living around Virginia Beach at the time when I had the sport bikes. So, there's like 5-lane highways in Virginia Beach, and, these big on ramps, off ramps. And it was really cool to have a sport bike back then. But nowadays, man, I'm slow and steady on my Harleys, man. So it's been a fun journey for me, and I always say too, it's really cool growing up on dirt because I really feel like it sets yourself up for that much more success on the out on the asphalt and all the uncertainties that get thrown at you in the real world on asphalt too. You know.
If somebody disagrees with you, they're just lying and they don't know what they're talking about, because like that is one of the things I've been kind of jealous of, maybe borderline resentful of my upbringing, not including that. Like I did get to learn how to ride motorcycles at, like, my friend Adam Cruz's house, because he and his daddy, they ride dirt bikes together. So after church, I can just go hang out at the Cruz's house for the afternoon. Oh, did you have a good time? Yeah, we ate lunch and just hung out. What they didn't know is I was hanging on for dear life on the back of a dirt bike while we're just absolutely ripping it. And I have no idea. Only thing I knew at that point about motorcycles is that I like them.
Yeah,
and it's like, I don't know how this needs to be a part of my life, but at some point it's going to happen. And many, many years later it happened. But you're right, though. Like, whenever you get the skills and the confidence that allow you to, have a great time on the dirt in a motorcycle, you're way more prepared. I don't know. It's got to be a confidence level thing, especially when you're used to, like, loose ground, and
That's right.
nothing is, completely exact, unlike pavement where you've got just pavement doesn't move, it's there.
That's right.
Unless,
That's right.
something's not, jumping out of the woods at you. It's a road. When you're out there on dirt, it's like, well, what kind of dirt?
That's right.
How wet is this dirt?
That's right.
Is it deep? Is it called mud? Like, it's just, it's got to be a confidence level. What do you think attributes to it the most?
Well, I think I think we all ride by feel, in a sense. And when you grow up on dirt and you constantly feel the world fall out from underneath you, and you know how to kind of overcorrect it and come out of certain scenarios and certain instances, I think it sets yourself up for that much more success on the asphalt. When you got to dodge a pothole all of a sudden, or you got to ride through a pothole, or you come through an area of asphalt that's got a little bit of oil, and you feel that slick, or some gravel, like I just feel like, we all kind of ride by feel. We ride through our ass, through our hands, and I feel like that's just how I can speak to it from my personal, my personal experience through it.
Yeah, I mean that's gotta be the way it is for me, and I would love to get back into the dirt. I love riding in the dirt. I never do it. I don't have a dirt bike. I've got enough friends in the Sportster side of things where I should probably just build a Dirtster,
Yeah.
just for the sake of doing it.
Yep.
But I don't know. There's something I love the road. It's what I actually know, but there's something about that dirt, especially whenever, like, you can throw it in the back of a pickup truck,
Yep.
go where the road stops, and then keep riding.
That's it.
That
Yep.
to me is like getting to explore. Just explore. I'm not
Yep.
trying to race nobody. I already know I'm not the fastest dude out
Yep.
there, so I'm good. But I do want to, like, go check this out. Go check that out. Well, what's on the other side of that turn? I
Yeah.
wonder if I can get to the top of that thing without dying.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, that's what I love about two wheels. That's what I love about two wheels in general is whether dirt or asphalt, two wheels get you further than four wheels do, and
oh yeah.
and the freedom that comes with two wheels, it's just beautiful, man. All of it that comes with it, whether you're on dirt or asphalt, it's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful journey and a beautiful, beautiful life.
It is. And I love the way you do it. Like, I am not a fairing person. And I say this, and I'm actually building a fairing bike right now. But, like, I'm not. Like, but traditionally, one of the reasons I ride motorcycles, and not everybody does it for the same reasons, is, even when you're going slow, you feel like you're going kind of fast. And so when you are going fast, it's a really great feeling. It's extremely exhilarating. We all know that part. But I also like having an unfiltered view of the road beneath me. And it's to me, it's like hanging my head off the side of a boat and just watching the water boil by, or checking out the swath of a ship, which I used to do when I was in the Navy. Like, constantly, I'd lean on the lifelines with a big fat cigar, I had no business smoking, and just stare at where the ship cuts the water. And it was just meditation before I understood what it was. Like, it was so damn magical. And I can't get that experience from a fairing bike. I get a different experience, also enjoyable, but whenever I see you taking your distance trips, you got that Road King, and I'm a big Road King fan anyways. I'm just like, okay, he and I are just dumb enough to both get it for the same, for the same reasons. I think we go, well, when you sit on a bike, like, and it's got a fairing on it, and you're about to go for a ride because you test ride lots of different stuff on a pretty regular basis. Do you feel like it's still too removed, or are you just like, dump truck, quit crying?
You know, I think the older I get, the more I'm going to be more on the fence about, gravitating towards a fairing. Maybe that does come with age and come with the more you're out on the road, the more you keep getting beat down and beat down and beat down. Maybe at some point we all just kind of give into a fairing. But man, to me, when I get on it, go from my Road King to a bike with a fairing, yes, immediately it's a totally different experience. It's a much quieter experience. You're not getting beat up as much. Obviously, you're not getting hit with the bugs and the rocks so I'm not close to the fairing yet. I'm not. I love my '04 Road King, man. I love the police bike edition look that it has. I'm not going to do much more to it than how you see it right now. I'm really not.
I don't know what else you should do to it. Honestly, it just looks like a rider's bike. Like, it's set up for you, and you look like, I mean, when you're riding it, you can tell it's your fucking motorcycle. Like, it fits you.
Yeah, it does, man. And that's the thing, man. When I first sat on it, it fit like, you can tell when you sit on bikes sometimes, like, it fit like a glove,
That look in your face where you go. We've all got that look. It's like,
that's right.
Why does that feel so good?
And if you get off your bike and don't look back at it 2 or 3 times as you're walking away, then you've picked the wrong bike.
Same rule for your woman. If you don't do that when she goes to the bathroom and you don't stare at her at least a little bit longer than you should, I mean, you might want to revisit some things. Yeah. Either that or just start staring some more and enjoy your life.
You're right, man. You're right. You're right. But hey, dump truck, back to the big philosophy of life of how we started this conversation about how I get my hands and everything. Yeah. I really dump truck. I look at life as opportunity first and foremost. I pick my head up and look at the world like this. I don't look at the world like this. And I take that kind of mindset back to like how we grew up with connected dot coloring books, right? Like I love seeing the world and realizing the opportunities in front of me. And then I start connecting the dots, and then I start coloring in that section, right? And then I'll connect more dots. I'll start coloring in that section. And that's kind of my metaphor for how I approach life. It's purely just connect the dots and deliver, man, and over deliver. Say what you're gonna do it with a smile, and over deliver, man. What you put in more times than not absolutely comes back to you in tenfold. And that's why, like, yeah, I came out of school as a sport management marketing person, but some days I'm an executive producer, some days I'm an event promoter, some days I'm a business owner. Every day I'm a husband. But that's how I view life, man. Is just connect the dots and go.
So do you sing the Connect the Dots song as you do that? Connect the dots, la la la.
No, I'll let you do that.
Just be in my voices. Okay, I need to go back to therapy. It's been confirmed. I think that's a great way to go, man, because like, especially whenever, like, I would say that you have a certain amount of planned opportunity and you capitalize really well. And that helps connect those dots, right? So it's like, where am I at? What's happening? Okay, cool. So from here to there, it takes this to get there. Okay, cool. And then the next one, let me plan 3 dots in a row.
That's right.
And then it's ready for a little bit of a domino effect when you need it. And I think that's rad. And, like getting to work with amazing clients, big clients, the NASCAR teams you were a part of, like starting off, getting to work with those companies. Like, one thing I learned, because I've been really fortunate to work with companies like Harley Davidson Motor Company and Brown Forman, which is Jack Daniels and Herradura Tequila and all their brands.
Yeah, man.
Is the work was great. It's high profile, looks great on my resume. But the best thing that really was done for me was the rooms, was the rooms I was actually invited into that I had no business being in the first place.
Is that not amazing? Man, I love those moments.
Yeah. I mean, it was an aha moment. Like, whenever I kind of like that light bulb went off, I was like, And I felt like I just finally learned how to look at money right for the first time. I was just like, wait, hang on. Yeah, the gig is great and all, but
Yeah.
what is the opportunity that really is ahead of me? And
Yeah.
because of that change of perspective, allowing me really to take these off and to look at with a broader perspective instead of just I'm here to be the most badass MC the motorcycle industry has ever seen because that's what I am and blah blah blah. Well, that's only gonna take you down one road for the whole life. And once I figured out that the blinders and the hyper focus,
Yeah.
sometimes ADHD ain't a bad thing. Just get them blinders off a little bit and go be a butterfly and go shake some babies and kiss some hands and meet some people and always show up on time and over deliver
Yep.
and things are going to end up with that with what feels like no effort at all.
Yep.
Suddenly things start to click and they start to fire like the
Oh
most
yeah.
important opportunities I've ever been given or offered. I felt like it was out of like no effort of my own, but it's really out of a consistent amount of effort.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And look, man, like I say it all the time too. It's like there's a lot of days I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I just know I'm doing right, and you're not going to get anywhere sitting on your damn couch, right? And you never know who's watching either, So that's another part of my kind of like my philosophy of life, and I also want to make sure like I surround myself with people smarter than me. I don't mind being the dumbest person in the room. And in fact, I more of the times than not, I want to walk into a room and be the dumbest person in the room because it tells me I'm building the right team around me. I'm surrounding myself with the right individuals to help our businesses keep growing and bringing in, bigger and bigger clients. And so, yeah.
If you are the crop that needs the most light, surround yourself with it. Period.
Yeah.
Like otherwise, that plant that you are, that crop that you are, is never going to cultivate and it's never going to grow. Period. I feel you there. Like, and that takes a certain amount of, and this isn't like a merit badge type deal, but a certain amount of humility, like a certain amount of like ego death that's necessary for you, like get past that whole, hey, I'm the fucking shit stuff, because there is a certain amount of confidence that's required and swagger that's required to just be doing. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. Yeah. And it ends up being successful. That takes a certain amount of I think humility and a lack of ego, at least not necessarily the good kind, the bad kind of ego.
Well, to that point, here at Wheelhouse, one of our sayings is, the Wheelhouse. The Wheelhouse way is all about checking the ego at the door.
I like it.
We absolutely check egos at the door here, and you kind of would definitely understand that in the film and production world. It's amazing the egos that come in the film and production world, man. It really is.
Well, if you ask some people, they are cool as hell. Just ask them; they're ready to tell you about it.
But there's something to be said for being self-aware, and you're right. There's a certain level of confidence that comes with that, and I will be the first to tell you that I'm very self-aware of who I am as a person, and again that does come with age and experience, rightfully so. But yeah, I'm very self-aware to know that it's okay to be the dumbest guy in the room. You
can hire good people.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm one that too like. Stay in your lane. It's okay to stay in your lane, man. And it's okay to not know everything.
Yeah, I've definitely had some, like even recent career experiences where there was no room for that right there. Like you weren't allowed, or at least there was not a lot. Everyone was required to know, even if they didn't. And it caused so many problems because nobody went to actually like learn something because leadership was like, oh no, it's this, that, and the other. When actually it's absolutely not that. And like none of us knew the answer, but what needs to happen is, okay, let's go find the answer and educate ourselves in this and then come up together instead of let's make a series of really bad, ignorant calls. And when we get tired of hitting our face against the wall, then maybe we'll go learn. It's like, no, man, just, I don't know. Awesome. Do I have time to learn this, or is this an outsourced skill set? Because I know what I'm good at. And one of the things that I struggle with most is trying to do all of it, or catching myself trying to do all of it.
Yep.
And, what I need to do is spearhead an effort to do all of it.
That's right. That's
not
right.
physically do it all, because multitasking is just doing a bunch of stuff pretty all right.
Yeah, that's right.
And that doesn't sound like over delivering to me. So, like, it's not good enough, like, at all. And I'm really excited for whenever I'm able to get to that next level of things I'm working on now that I'm back being independent again, and really focusing on my voiceover career and
Well,
focusing on
you're going back to things you're going back to things you're passionate about, right,
absolutely.
Dump Truck?
I am.
Yep.
I'm talking to a lot of microphones. I'm ready to choose the ones I talk into, and I'm wildly grateful for all of the mics I get to talk into. But your passions change. I used to be like at every single show, over 30 events a year, and that's multiply that by 3 or 6 days a piece, sometimes 15, and you're talking, I'm working on the road full time, probably 7/8 of a year. Like, if it's cold outside, I'm on airplanes and I live in hotels. If it's warm outside, I was living on a motorcycle under a tree or in a hotel when I had a gig. Like, and it was just boom, boom on the road constantly. And I loved it. Like, I was so down. And now I really like Charlotte. Like, I have an address, I have a wonderful partner I'm engaged to. And like, we are starting to make ourselves available to a local community for like one of the first times. I've never really had that. I've always been on the move.
Dude, and I love that you guys are grounding yourself here and right here in Charlotte, Dump Truck, because man, the motorcycle community in and around Charlotte, and even up where I live, Lake Norman area, Mooresville area, man, the motorcycle community is strong around here, man. It really is. And you've already had a taste of it, over the last couple of years, but now that you're truly kind of settling down here and going to be around more, you're gonna find yourself getting ingrained in our motorcycle community here that much more, man. It really is, and it starts at the top of Harley Davidson too. The global brand and marketing team. Two of the guys are right here out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's really awesome, and that's how I landed. That's how I landed Harley Davidson as a client here at our wheelhouse company.
Tell me about that.
Like relationship. Another thing that is really key in my world is relationship capital, man. Don't burn bridges, and life will be okay. It really will be. And so probably 10 years ago here at Wheelhouse, we were doing commercial work for NC Tourism, and the creative director at the time of NC Tourism worked at an ad agency here in town called Luguire. And probably 4 or 5 years ago, I saw on LinkedIn he made a post. He accepted a associate creative director position, Harley Davidson global brand marketing team, and my eyes just lit up, man. I'm like, I immediately sent him a message. Congratulations on making the move to Harley. I filled him in on my passions for all things motorcycles. I reminded him all the great work we did together for NC Tourism.
Lay it out there, baby.
Oh, man. But it was all real stuff. It was all straight from the heart, man. And, I was just like, I said, man, we used to do great work together for NC Tourism. I said, when you finally get your feet underneath you, Harley, man, give me a nod. Give me if you think about me. And he wrote back and was like, man, thanks so much for reaching out. Thank you for the message. You got it. Absolutely. Let me get my feet under me and we'll see what we can do. And then Dump Truck, fast forward maybe, a year after that message, my first opportunity was to be a part of model year 2024. They flew me out. They flew me out to the Pacific Coast Highway, October 2023. And I rode the 2024 Road King for the model year 2024 campaign. And my wife got to be a part of it. She was on the back of the Road King with me, and so yeah, we were cast as talent in the model year 2024 campaign, and that was my first opportunity to get my foot in the door within the the higher ecosystem of Harley, and so yeah, since that opportunity, I've grown the relationship here at Wheelhouse and internally at Harley very, very strong, man. It's been fun. It's been a blast.
That's really cool. So tell me about the experience of you and your wife, like being booked as talent. Like, it's wildly different than being a producer or being, a promoter or both.
Man, dude, Dump Truck, I loved it because, to your point, it felt like I had a day off of work. You know, like
Yeah, I know.
I'm used to being the one that's in charge of all the logistics and getting the crew there,
And
and
now it's so start the motorcycle now. Okay, turn it off. Let me
now
start it again. Okay, cool. Okay, now turn it off. You want me to start it again? Okay, you want me to turn it off? Oh, I get to ride now. No, sit here for 3 hours. Okay, I'll be right here when you want me to ride.
yep, yep. It was so cool, man.
Jeez, big pal, fired. No.
That
It's just me and my woman in the woods getting ready to go for a coastal motor pickle ride.
Oh, in the most picturesque, most picturesque world part
Where'd
of the
you go?
world. Oh, it was fascinating. But that was her first time truly on the back of a motorcycle. Had Harley found that out, they probably wouldn't want her part of it.
Yeah,
But
yeah, they made her sign the paperwork twice.
oh yeah, she's like hugging like this, man, hugging like this.
Oh, cool. Where'd y'all go ride? Where'd you meet up?
They had us out. They flew us out to Fort Bragg, California, and we were deep up in the Pacific Coast Highway. And then we went by they took us to this really cool lighthouse around Fort Bragg, California. So a bit of riding stuff and a bit of kind of scenic lifestyle stuff as part of that campaign. And then we came back from that campaign as being talent. And then a few months after that, I got the call that my first true opportunity here at Wheelhouse was with Harley's Homecoming in Milwaukee. And so me and my team here at Wheelhouse, we went in, and last year at Homecoming, we did all the filming, like all the main like marketing and advertisement spots is what me and my team produced and created out of Homecoming last year. It was really, really rad.
That's cool. And homecoming last year was sick.
It was, man. It was, dude. The Jelly Roll the Jelly Roll and Machine Gun Kelly collab, that was really awesome.
Are you
Did
there?
I freeze? Did I freeze up on you?
It looks like you froze. Yeah, I was waiting to see if it was catching up or not.
Oh shoot.
Do, do, do.
Well, is this part of the show now?
It might be. We're doing it live. All right, so homecoming. What a sick time. I actually got to go there and visit with my homies out of Cypress Hill and hang out with them for a minute. And you were involved with a really big part of the production that year.
Yeah, man. It was fascinating. We had 2 months of planning going into Homecoming last year. And we went in with a certain approach and a certain amount of deliverables that we knew we were going to have to hit, and all this filming and all. We went in with this big plan, and we get to Milwaukee, and the global team is like, we're just learning that Jelly Roll is going to have a surprise guest performance Saturday night, and we now have 48 hours to figure out how to produce a music video. And so next thing you know, man, in less than 48 hours, we have come up with creative with Harley Davidson. We've mapped out kind of where we're going to shoot and film, and man, next thing you know, at the end of Saturday night, we were in the middle of producing a music video, a global debut music video for Jelly Roll and Machine Gun Kelly. Of their country road, man, their country road that they debuted later last year. We ended up producing a music video around it. It was fascinating, man.
And seeing that right there, like, you're given an opportunity to produce and perform alongside some of the genre's top artists, and you don't say no to those situations, even if you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
That's right. That's right.
It's called fuck around and find out. Like, I mean, you said it before. Sometimes you don't know what you're doing, but you get it done and you learn through the process. And
That's right.
I think that's dope as hell. I mean, your business partners have to also like be really good at shooting from the hip and just figuring it out, and probably not sleeping a whole lot sometimes.
That's exactly right, man. Yeah, we're always in the event business, and even in the production business, man. You can go in with a set plan, and more times than not, you're going to have to adjust right out of the gate. And that's what we've been accustomed to for the last 20 plus years, is just constantly going in with a game plan, but always being ready to adjust on the fly and keep things moving without people even realizing you're having to adjust on the fly.
Now what, I mean, and to be producing and promoting events, I mean, you spend months. I mean, that's the world that I'm from, and it's like you spend months of planning and preparation before you open the door. A lot of times before you have any income, sometimes even sponsorship money coming in,
That's right.
and you and your plan doesn't mean shit on day one. The second those gates open, it was like, cool. So where's the fire? Because they're just gonna keep coming. It's a part of it. It's not a bad thing. It's just a thing. And the plans are great. I feel like all of that time is just to get you to the starting line. So you're like, hey, this is how it could go.
Yep.
We're
Yep.
gonna try to make it go this way.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's just, put your head on backwards, make sure your radio's got charged batteries,
Yep.
and let's go. And you're doing that on a bunch of levels. You've got during the warm months, you've got a monthly meetup in Mooresville. You've got what is it, Old Town Revival? You have Back of the Dragon. Like, tell me about. Let's start with the Throttle Thursdays that you have in Mooresville.
Yeah.
And let's talk about why Mooresville is important. Let's start there, and then like lead into your show.
Yeah, I mean, because Dump Truck, that's where you and I initially met, man, was our Throttle Thursday series that we do in collab with our partners at Murdo Made Mooresville there, man. And that was a beautiful way to meet you. It really was. And I'm glad you've been privy to what we do there in that town of Mooresville. Mooresville's, it's race city capital of the world, race city USA. There's all kinds of gearheads, man. If you like anything and everything gearhead related, you'll find it in Mooresville. And so how we took the OTR brand and created Throttle Thursdays there in Mooresville is, I've got to step back and really paint the picture of, my brother-in-law and I started Foundation Moto. We started our custom motorcycle company at the end of 2018 called Foundation Moto. My brother-in-law moved from Colorado towards the middle of 2018, and boom, right out of the gate, he and I aligned our entrepreneurial spirits and just our go-getting attitudes.
And you got good vibes. Like neither of y'all are high strung. Like
that's right.
Getting it done, but the vibrations are of a high frequency.
And dude, it's rare. It's rare when you align. It's rare when like brother-in-laws or in-laws come together like that. It's really really rare, and so it's really special that what Paul and I have, and the beautiful support of my wife and his wife. They're sisters, and so they wanted to move to Huntersville, North Carolina, to be closer to family. Their parents live in North Myrtle Beach, so it's real close. It's real close to get to North Myrtle Beach from here, and so when they moved in 2018. Paul's like, man, I've always wanted to have my own shop. And so I'm like, well, man, I've got the brand stuff down. I've got the media stuff down. I got marketing. I was like, let's go. Oh, I froze again.
Few moments later.
Oh, yeah, he's back, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Where were we, Dump Truck?
I was right here. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's right.
I wasn't there, officer.
So we were, I think what I was saying was, they moved to town to be close to all of his family, all of our family, and he and I just immediately hit it off with, my things, all things passions for motorcycles. His passion for motorcycles. He always wanted to have his own shop and his own brand. So he and I just combined our skill sets, man, right out of the gate, and we started Foundation Moto at the end of 2018. And to answer your question of how we took the OTR to Mooresville. Was I right out of the gate, I knew, like, all right, what's the best way for us to introduce Foundation Moto to the community? I was like, let's just create our own event, man. Let's just go for it. Let's start our own event brand as a true extension of our custom motorcycle company. And let's just, put all our builds out there in the community as much and best we can. And that's how I started the OTR brand in 2019. And early on, I wanted to align myself and the OTR brand with other like-minded brands and individuals that eat, sleep, and breathe motorcycles, but also eat, sleep, and breathe the lifestyle that comes with it. Also eat, sleep, and breathe all things community and bringing people together for the greater cause. And early on, I landed my friends at Murdo Made Distillery, and they opened their first distillery. They opened in Huntersville. And their second distillery, they opened on Main Street in Mooresville. And so when they opened that second distillery on Main Street in Mooresville, we had already been building some really good success of the OTR brand up to that point, and it was just a light bulb moment for all of us. You know, myself and John Murdo and Z, who own Murdo Made. It was just a light bulb moment of, let's pitch the town of Mooresville if they'll allow us to come in and do something really cool for this town and community and bring our OTR brand in. And the Main Street there in Mooresville is just this picturesque Main Street, the backdrop, all of it. And so we just went to the town and pitched them on the idea, and they bit, and that's how it started, man. And we're getting ready to go into our 4th year producing that series, that Throttle Thursday series.
Well, I love it. And like, your business partners are some of the most fun people that I have met in North Carolina at Murto Made. Like, that whole squad, like the second you show up at one of the Throttle Thursday events and you see anyone wearing camouflage coveralls, go be friends with those people.
That's right.
Not only are they doing good things for the community, but every single one of them, or at least not one of them are boring, like at all. You guys like come together. You obviously work hard. You produce a really cool show. The music's always great. I mean, you've got a bar distillery that's affiliated with the event. How that sounds like a mediocre idea, I'll never know. It sounds amazing. And the street it's just rad. And it's not just motorcycles.
Yeah.
It is the custom culture and the love for that. Like, all of the cars, the classic cars, pre-64 hot rods, the muscle cars. I mean, you even got a couple like guys that bought some Corvettes that go park them out there.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, you're the one thing that I really love about that Throttle Thursday event, and a lot of the things that you produce, is it's not only motorcycles.
Yep.
It is that whole custom horsepower nation as a community, I think is what you support. Oh, now you're showing off.
Yeah, well, you're talking about all that horsepower, man. I mean, you're dead on. I mean, the OTR brand, when I started it in 2019, I set out for that brand to become a household kind of brand for all families, all kids, all adults. Like, you know, come one, come all. You know, one of the slogans is "Ride 'em or drive 'em," man. And you know, I did early on. I wanted to kind of shake it up a little bit. Of, you know, your boring regular bike nights where you just show up in a parking lot tied to a restaurant. You know, and that's
no character to it. That's just like there's no scene. That's the good thing about having media people being events folks, because everything you do is gonna look good on camera, bro. Like, for people out there that are seeking media for their events and stuff, every single thing that you do, you go, okay, now what's a photographer going to do with this?
That's right.
What's a videographer going to do with this? Because it plays to the human eye. It's why we use 24 frames a second, like to play to the actual human eye and how it works best. And like, to have a venue of character like that changes everything. It instantly isn't your normal bike night, especially when you just walk past 15 pre-64 hot rods. Like, that are all pristine.
That's right.
Like, I love it. When's your next one?
Next week, June 27th, June 26th. Yeah, the last Thursday of the month. So yeah, it's escaping my brain right now. But yeah, next week will be our June
26th. You're better than you think you are.
Ah, there we go. Perfect.
And I'm in town, so I guess I better fuel up and ride up there.
Well, and let's hope the weather's on our side for this one, because our April and our May both got rained out with torrential downpours. It's been horrible for rain here as of late, but
it has been. Sabine and I were talking about that yesterday, when it just like came down out of nowhere, and like, I mean, it was like 12% chance of rain, and it was a deluge for like 5 hours. I was like, 12% what? 12% opportunity to come up for air if you go on a walk. Like, I mean, it was serious rain, and usually by this time the rain's kind of chilled out, and you'll get some stuff here and there, but I mean, I feel like it's May 2.0 all over again. There's serious water coming down.
Yep.
I mean, what do you do with that? I mean, you're an events producer. Like, I mean, everybody treats that differently. Like, so what do you go? It's like, hey, thanks for understanding. Thanks for coming out. We're not going to give up. Let's go.
Dude, that's one of the hardest parts of it is, you know, my OTR brand, we're not in like indoor environments. Like, I like to find, like, to your point, I like to find just different, unique areas to create an event in. You know, I mean, think about my airstrip event, the Goose Creek airstrip
Oh,
event
yeah.
that we take over. But to your point, like sometimes the weather can just absolutely beat you down to the point where you're like, how much more do I have in the tank to keep doing this? You know, and people don't realize what it more times than not, people don't realize truly what it takes to put on an event, and to put on an event its success and a good detail. I mean, you have to obsess about the details, obsess about the experience, obsess about the second someone walks into your event, what kind of experience are they going to take in. I mean, you have to obsess about all that, and then all of a sudden the weather comes in and knocks you down. You
There's
know,
nothing you can do. I
there's
mean, it
nothing you
happens
can
in
do.
racing all the time. Like when I was with the motor company, a lot of my work was with the NHRA, and like all those companies invest millions every week to make race day happen,
Yeah.
and they still got to pay everybody. They still got to do all that stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where I I had a teaching moment one time whenever I was getting asked by my client what I'm supposed to do about paying me since I couldn't work that day. And it was kind of a shitty conversation to have, to be honest. Like, don't treat your people like that. Like, it's not their fault. It's an act of God. Like, this is why you have event insurance, and this is why it's called gambling. And it was one of those things where I was like, well, it may not be your fault, but it is your responsibility to take care of everyone that you brought along with this journey. And that could be a heavy crown to wear sometimes. But like, and you even spoke to it. It's like when that happens, how many more times can I endure like putting hours and months of obsession and planning and ensuring sponsors and like getting all these things together just to have the helium let out of the balloon? It's like the answer to that to me is it depends on who you have with you on the journey.
Yep.
It depends on your sponsorship. Like, are
Amen.
they in for the event, or are they just going, bro, I
Amen.
paid you coin? It's like, this is an industry of passion. Like, you have to be passionate about it, or otherwise you just won't get it.
Yep.
Like, having great sponsors that understand, that go, hey man, this isn't on you. Now, if a sponsor shows up and you've screwed the pooch on something, well, then it's time for accountability.
That's right.
But until you start throwing airplanes with chemicals through the clouds in the sky and creating
Yep.
weather storms on your own,
Yep.
like you're doing the best you can, and
That's right.
and having really strong business partners and just community, the fan base. Like as long as they are constantly going, keep going. Thank you for doing everything.
Yep.
It's way easy to keep your tank full, but I mean, not all days are like that either, though. Sometimes it's just empty, and you got to be cool with it.
That's right. And you got to dig. You got to dig deep, and you got to keep going. I mean, no matter what, man, life's not easy, So, but it beats the alternative. Beats the alternative, also, right? You and I didn't ask to be here, but here we are, and
Yeah, we didn't ask for greatness. Yeah. And here we are doing the line.
I love it. But you know what? Damn, man, here we are. So you might as well do, and you might as well keep going. But you answered that nicely, Dump Truck, because I am blessed with great business partners. I'm blessed with a beautiful community that supports all that we do. And I'm blessed to have strong sponsors and like-minded sponsors that truly understand we're doing everything the right way. We're putting the right foot forward. We're putting our heart on the line for our sponsors, and they get it. They understand it, and they understand that weather sometimes is out of our control. So you answered that perfectly, man.
It's I mean, events are hard. They just are, and if you don't have that kind of support, I mean, like you were saying, life is hard. I mean, like Sabine sometimes, like, just in partnership mode, right? Like sometimes you don't have it in your tank, but your partner needs you to have it in the tank.
Yep.
And, you want to, and you just go, well, I really want to have it in the tank, even though it's not there. So you know what? I'm just going to tell myself it's in the tank, and I'm going to be supportive because I want you to be great, and like whenever you can surround yourself with people that see you in that way professionally, like it's another kind of marriage altogether,
Yep.
I mean, it's unique. Whenever I feel like you're really good at finding partners, like, because, it just keeps working on an upward trajectory for yourselves. And we've been friends for just short of 3 years now, but I
Yep.
do plenty of stalking and I watch, like I'm always busy, but I'm watching. There's some shakers and movers that are really doing stuff. And I learned a long time ago, it's like, don't worry about listening, just watch.
Yeah.
And not even just always what they do, but who do they commune with? What choices do they make? How do they react to another rained out event you've been working really hard for that you feel partially responsible for when you had nothing to do with it? Like, how do you handle that? And it's just, it speaks to your character, I think. And I'm sure that the people that work with you would agree that, a lot of the reasons why these things go well is because of the energy that you bring to the table.
Well, I appreciate you saying I appreciate you saying that, dump truck, and I guess I'm one that I'm a very humble person, and it's hard sometimes for me to hear positive words of affirmation and stuff like
Well,
that.
you're ugly and your hair is dumb. How about that?
We can't have it all, can we?
Is that
Dump truck?
easier? Is that easier for you, Adam?
I say it all the time. We can't have it all, man. But like I am who I am, and I do what I do. And if it comes across like that, then man, I greatly appreciate those words, dump truck. I really do, man.
Well, don't make a
And
liar out of me, okay? Keep it up.
say again.
I said, don't make a liar out of me. Keep it up.
Yeah, I don't know any other way, man. I really don't.
I don't think you do either, man. I feel that. I feel the sincerity in that comment, even though it's like so casual. I don't think you do know another way, and don't learn another way. Shit's working, bro.
That's right.
Like it's going well. We're not even done talking about your events. Like we were texting about an event that you were facilitating last weekend.
Dude, so here's the crazy thing about that, right? That's at Back of the Dragon, Virginia, in Tazewell, Virginia. So, I gotta reverse a little bit again here.
Reverse. Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Uh,
So when I started the OTR brand in 2019, I came out of the box hot. First year event, I did it in Old Town Cornelius. And that's where I coined the name Old Town Revival. At that time in 2019, that side of town, it was already being coined Old Town Cornelius, and it kind of already had a bit of a brand presence. So I was like, well, man, let me go ahead and let me just lean into that Old Town, and I called it the Old Town Revival. And it's been a perfect small town brand. It really is. That's why the Old Town Revival fits perfectly up there on Main Street in Mooresville. So OTR 2019 took off like that. And then all of a sudden COVID hits, right? And you can't do events during COVID. So I lost all this steam in COVID. So then coming out in 2021, I created this Road to the OTR marketing plan. And I did this like month to month Road to the OTR kind of thing. And it's very similar to how we just launched our Sambuco's Lunch Lap series a couple years ago. We launched the Sambuco's Lunch Lap series off the success of this Road to the OTR marketing plan that I did. But what that did is it grabbed the attention of the investing team behind Back of the Dragon. There's a group of investors that live in Mooresville, North Carolina, and they own this huge retail and welcome center in Tazewell, Virginia. It's branded the Back of the Dragon. Well, anyway, they call me out of the blue and they're like, "Man, what are we hearing about this OTR brand? Like, can we just come to one of your events as a 10x10 vendor?" So dump truck, October 2021, Back of the Dragon comes as a 10x10 vendor, and I shit you not, the very next week, the investment team is calling me and they're like, "Holy shit, Adam, what was that we were just a part of?" That was amazing.
What a feeling.
Dude, it really was.
What
And it
a
was
feeling.
like, they were like, would you and your team, welcome an R&D trip with us to Tazewell, Virginia? Will you let us roll out the red carpet and show you everything that's going on in Tazewell and show you the Back of the Dragon? And so, oh man, we froze again.
Son of a bitch.
All right, hang on. Let's hold that thought, Back of the Dragon.
Hold that thought, hidden from the back of a dragon.
So let me close this and rejoin.
Rejoin. Hydrate, kids. Dooby-doo. It's gonna be a good one.
Testing. Testing. Are we good?
You're so good.
I'm getting better. I'm getting better at this technology stuff.
You're hired.
That's right.
All right, so they had a 10 by 10.
So yeah, so they set up as they set up as a 10 by 10 vendor, man, in OTR 2021, and the very next week they're calling and they're like, "Holy shit, Adam, what was that we were a part of? That was phenomenal. That was fantastic. Can we get you and your business partners and your team to Tazewell, Virginia? We'd like to show you kind of what we have within our grasp in Tazewell and what the back of the dragon stands for and what it means." And so, you know, being the entrepreneurs that we are, and we just were like, yeah, well, let's go. So, well, that's how it happened, Dump Truck. I'm blown away that, like, you know, this little brand, this little OTR brand that I started on a whim in 2019 as a marketing arm for our custom motorcycle shop, Foundation Moto, to have all of a sudden for us to be traveling the OTR brand. Like, are you kidding me?
Right, and without it being a part of your plan, it's literally by exposure and by relationships. Like that's how that stuff grows. It feels like it comes out of nowhere, bro. Like that feeling is affirmation to me. That's how I dine on that feeling. Whenever I feel that, whenever, like, very recently, I don't know if you've seen the TC Bros ads that have been popping up.
Yes.
As of late.
Yep.
Really love that team. Really love working with them. We're getting to know each other more. They're super passionate what they're doing. They have a vision, and I whenever they came calling on me for that felt like it was just without effort. And it's totally could not be more wrong. Like it's a collection of all of our efforts. And like so where is OTR now and currently, and then let's talk about what you want to do with it. Do you want to expand it more, hit the road with it a little bit more? Do you want to just continue to cultivate where you're at? Like, let us know what's up.
Man, it's been a brand that some days I wake up and I hate it, and some days I wake up and I love it. You know,
Sounds like passion to me.
that's it, man. It just because some days I have a clear vision for it, right? And some days I'm kind of like, well, what is the vision for it, and what's the exit strategy for it? And maybe there isn't supposed to be an exit strategy for it. You know. I never in a million years would have thought I'd be traveling it to Tazewell. And then, you know, in 3 short years of us taking the OTR brand to Tazewell, we won a Virginia Tourism Award from it.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I mean, so like,
I mean, you got roots with tourism firms, right? So like you worked with North Carolina tourism, and now you're getting recognized in Virginia as well. I mean, that's no small thing, man. That's huge. That is a government saying thank you for bringing revenue to our communities in a way that we appreciate.
That's right. No, it is, and it's fascinating. I mean, yeah. To your point, you just don't know who's watching, Dump Truck, right? I mean, you know, and there's no such thing as overnight success, except, you know, when you maybe luck out at the lottery ticket. But then again, how many times have you gone into that gas station trying to win that lottery ticket, right?
Yeah.
So I hate when people are like, yeah, overnight success. Bullshit, man. It's years and years and years of going and doing, and then things just, you know, take off if and when, right? Just like your TC Bros came calling, just like all the other brands that you've dealt with, they come calling because they're watching and they're liking and seeing what you're doing.
Yeah, it's just wild. I mean, it's like one of the early lessons as a young boy. You know, it's like, you know, do what you say you're gonna do because people are watching. Like all the time, they're watching what you're doing, especially if there's children around. Children pick up on everything, and you just never know where some handshake's gonna go. I mean, when I got the call for the motor company, that came from a conversation with an event producer at a bar in Colorado 9 months before I got the call to work with he and his event company, Mirrorball Agency, to work with them for the motor company. And it was one of those, like, I don't know if you remember meeting me, Dump Truck, or not, but we had this random night. We connected through another friend who lives in Tennessee. Well, while I was just like all these different weird things that still led to me hanging out for probably, 3 hours and high-fiving.
Yep.
And just, that was it. And then 9 months later, someone goes, hey, you ever heard of the motor company? I'm like, just book the ticket. I don't even know what you're going to say next. Just book the ticket.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go. Well, let's do this. Yes.
What was your first thing you got? What was your first opportunity with the motor company?
My first opportunity was 2009 at Daytona Bike Week. And I did not have any motorcycle community. I didn't come from motorcycles. It was, I was actually given my mom's Sportster, and like nobody really rode the thing. And that was my bike. And I just rode and learned how to ride in the Rocky Mountains on the routes that I drove as a truck driver through all the hills and everything. And so I didn't have any community. So that was the first time I'd gone. I wasn't a guy that went to bike nights or any of that kind of stuff. I just had a motorcycle and was a bouncer in Denver. And so that was my first time I went to like a community event. My mind was absolutely blown. So many things were burned into my skull that one weekend. I was just like, wow, there are millions of people walking around, which is not the true number. But I mean, there's still like over 500,000 people walking around that event. Like it was a lot to drink in.
Yeah, man.
And it was definitely towards the beginning of my like actual professional MC career.
Yeah.
They were my second client. My first client was Jack Daniels. And so like for the first, I don't know, probably shooby dooby doo 10 years of my career, it was women's roller derby, whiskey, or Harley Davidsons. That was my whole life. And I didn't have an address. I lived on an 07 Street Glide full time.
Dude, that's a badass living. That's a badass living. You wouldn't trade that for a world.
No way. Every scar is mine.
Dude, roller derby, whiskey, and motorcycles. Those are three rad categories, man.
It's called saying yes, people. Yes is how you live your life. No is how you protect yourself. So if the choice isn't going to actually hurt you, suck it up and say yes. I guarantee you there's an experience on the other side of that. Like, it was really intimidating, man. Like I was 29 years old in 2009. So it's like, I'd only been like doing the MC thing professionally for like 3 weeks. Other than that, I'd been, MCing women's roller derby. And then when I wasn't doing that, I was the bouncer in punk rock rockabilly bars.
I love it.
And so it was just like, I didn't know what to do. I was intimidated by everything.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, one of the great things about the motor company is the family.
Ooh, buddy.
Bill, Karen, of course, Willie G, and everyone. Like, I had someone had stolen my leather jacket that was an heirloom jacket for me. And when we were at that first Daytona Bike Week, and one of the last days that we were there, it actually got windy to the point it was cold. And I didn't have a jacket, and I don't complain. So I was just out there in a t-shirt, rocking a microphone, just me and my pompadour, having a hell of a day, had a chin and everything. And then the story came out about what happened to my jacket, and Bill Davidson heard about what happened to the jacket. And he walked over and talked to one of the folks at the Motor Clothes and says, one of these is Dump Trucks. We need to make sure that he gets one of these. We need to find out which one of these he wants, and he needs a jacket. And he needs to go. And yeah, that's just a jacket, but like,
what a memory, man. What a moment.
I felt very vulnerable. I felt like I didn't want to complain. I didn't want to say anything, but given this opportunity, and I didn't want to be emotional and all that kind of stuff. And I felt real seen. And I was just like, these people are something special. And like, the more I've gotten to know the Davidson family over the years, I mean, the more special they are. And that was really what I was unaware of, was the heart in the motorcycle community, because there's a lot of it. There's a lot of it. And you have to, like, that's the only way you survive in the motorcycle world. You got to love this. Otherwise, you're just biding time.
Yep. That's right, man.
It ain't easy.
Yeah, no, it's not. But back to your MC stuff though, Dump Truck, and back to your answer of like, where's the OTR brand going? Like, I don't know where it's truly going. I do know it's still growing significantly. And man, the more it grows, I hope you and I can find fun ways to work together and have you MC some stuff with me, or,
With me, boy.
I mean, seriously, man, I mean,
Dude, I am so down.
you talk about coming full circle, from us meeting 3 years ago to being able to truly work on something together. I don't see why it's out of the realm of possibilities. And back to the same old stuff about us saying you just never know who's watching. Like, not only did Back of the Dragon come calling, then like last year, or the year before last, leading into last year, Jake Hines from Prism Supply.
Oh yeah.
He came calling, and is like, and they put on one hell of a show, the Congregation show, right here in Charlotte, North Carolina at Camp North End. But he came calling and was like, Adam, man, he's like, what you're doing at Goose Creek Airstrip, your OTR Goose Creek Airstrip event, man. He said, I'm really impressed with seeing the growth of that. And he's like, I've been trying to figure out a way to make the Congregation show a full weekend experience, not just a one-day event. So he was like, would you think about aligning your OTR Goose Creek Airstrip event
Is the way.
with the Congregation show? And so that's what we did last year. We came out and made an announcement that the Congregation show was going to be on Saturday, and then our OTR Goose Creek was going to be on Sunday, and it was going to be a rockin' full-on weekend experience. And man, next thing I know, like, Harley Davidson is now has a presence at my OTR Goose Creek event. So yeah, I don't know where to truly answer your question about the OTR brand and where it's going. And man, we're just going to keep riding this ride for now, Dump Truck, and keep bringing beautiful things to the community, and keep bringing us together, and bringing our motorcycles together, and bringing hot rods together. And man, I know it's keeping me off my couch. That's for sure.
Yeah. I love that, dude. And it's just like, it's just like a plan, right? You have to have one. It's an idea of where I think this whole idea is going to go, but what it really is just gets you to the starting line. And then you just do what you do from there to get to the finish line. And that finish line, it moves, y'all.
Yeah.
It doesn't stay in one place. Yes, you'll always achieve these short-term goals and things like that, but like, with what you're doing with OTR is going to change without your involvement or inspiration sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so now to hit the finish line, I've got to bob and weave through this other thing, which could be just this whole other positive episode, or it could be management. Like, who knows? That's events. Like, you never do know. And like the event that you've organized at Goose Creek is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard of. Speaking of, it could be a really positive thing, or it could be management. You got to explain that event, like, because I haven't been able to physically go to it yet because I'm still traveling to MC to other places.
Yeah.
And we talk about wanting to work together, and we've talked about it in the past separately.
Yeah.
I 100% want to, and it's actually part of what I think will make me feel like Charlotte or North Carolina, because I won't always live in the city, but North Carolina is home. It will be like being able to be involved at home.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get to go to Congregation. It's literally 10 minutes from my house if I'm riding like a gentleman. Like 10 minutes in the city.
Yep.
From one side to the other. And I don't get to go to it because I am at another dope ass motorcycle event. So this isn't me complaining, but I'm all the way across the country, contributing to my motorcycle community in a different way.
That's right.
And the more I see what you're doing, and the more what I see, like, groups like Prism Supply are doing, and it's literally here in my backyard.
It is.
Nothing is more than 35 minutes away that I want to be at, or at least no one is more than 35 minutes away. The Mooresville events, 35, 40 minutes up the street. Congregation is less than 10 minutes from my house. And I get FOMO, like, traveling to go work at a motorcycle event. I get FOMO of what's happening in my own zip code. And that's cool. Like, to me, that drives me to want to be more present, like where I physically am. Maybe I don't need to leave all the time for the first time in my life.
No, you don't. It's okay to stay at home every now and then, Dump Truck. It really is.
I don't know anything about that, but I'd love to try. Every year I'm like, I'm not traveling that much, just twice a month.
But you're going to more established rallies and events. Sure. Probably like the scene around here is still somewhat you know, somewhat new on like, 10 years or less of this new trajectory of what we've got going on here right now, between the OTR brand and Prism Supply and the Congregation Show, like those, those are the two main brands right now really doing big things in this Charlotte, community. Maybe there's some others obviously, but, those are two that are really pushing things forward right now here in the Charlotte area. So I can't wait to bring you under the fold here in our backyard dump truck. I really can't, man.
I can't either. I've met some really cool people. You got, Eric Stein's always around.
Yep.
Big Scott's a part of the whole group, and everybody that is in the Foundation family, everybody that's in the Murtomade family. I always feel like I'm actually supposed to be there, instead of because the only place that I don't feel at home is at home typically, and I don't feel like that when I go to Throttle Thursday. I went to that one night when it got rained out. I was like, I'm still gonna go hang out and say hi, and I don't give a bit. And it was the best choice. Hung out for a good couple hours. Just watched a bunch of stories, laughed a whole lot, talked about what did we talk about? A voicemail? What was it? I remember what that was.
I can't even remember what it was.
Sharing information. I was like, we got to talk about using my given name here, guys. Not gonna happen. I will bury someone under a pole so you never find them.
That's it.
Standing right up. People are like,
okay, so
big a deal.
So Goose Creek Airstrip. I got off topic there. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
talk about that event. I mean, there's planes, there's cars, there's bikes, there's everything.
Yeah, man. Last year there was drifting. I added drifting to one end of the. It's the OTR slogan is like ride 'em or drive 'em, but now at Goose Creek it's ride 'em, drive 'em, fly 'em.
So dude, what is it? All I know is that it's at a gathering at an abandoned airstrip, right?
So two pilots, two entrepreneurial pilot types, bought this old airstrip as their personal, playground. But they've re-energized it to where they have flight schools out of it. But every hangar there is privately owned. But it's
like
personally
an airport community then. Yeah.
Say again?
It's like an airport community.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. And my brother-in-law and I, how we landed on the airstrip to begin with.
Yeah, tell me.
one of our custom motorcycle builds, American Iron Magazine at the time wanted to do a feature on it, and we were like, well, can we control the photography? Can we control the location? And they were like, sure, no problem. Well, so I just cold called this airstrip one day, and I guess I got the owner at a good time. He answered, and he was like, Adam, he said, believe it or not, he said, I get calls like this all the time, and I tell people no all the time. He said, but for whatever reason, I'm telling you yes today, that you and your brother-in-law can come out here and do your photo shoot for American Iron Magazine. And so we go out there, this was like 4 years ago now, we go out to shoot for American Iron Magazine, and his business partner at the time, or still, he owns it with one business partner. The business partner was there on the day we were shooting our motorcycles, and he happens to be a Harley Davidson guy. And so he was absolutely loving everything he was seeing.
Oh yeah.
And so after that moment of meeting these guys, and me seeing the beautifulness of this old airstrip, and me immediately putting my event promoter hat on, I just pitched these guys on the OTR brand and what the OTR brand stands for. And man, they said, absolutely, we'd welcome you and your OTR brand on our property. We don't do anything here in terms of events, but we're open-minded to this. We're all things planes and gearheads, and the fact that I'm a motorcycle guy. This is one of the partners talking, right? He's like, the fact that I'm a Harley Davidson guy, he's like, hell yeah, let's go for it. And so dump truck, what you see nowadays at the airstrip it's like something out of the 1960s, 1970s. It's absolutely run what you brung. We've got flag girls with handkerchiefs and bandanas, just doing the waving as the starting of the airstrip. And it's just all out good old fashioned fun, man. Lots of live music. We've got motorcycle stunt shows that take over the airstrip at a certain time during the day. Again, we added car drifting there last year at the end of the runway. Planes fly in for it. It's man, it's
Yeah,
just
but,
a.
like, so to kick this thing off, is it like a mob starts at a starting line somewhere, and someone waves a flag, and everyone just like kind of takes over the property, and planes fly in while it happens? Like, I have no idea what happens.
Well, it's more organized than that, right? So like
Like, to me,
we
it's a cartoon. That's how I see your event, because I have to physically see this, because I'm sitting going, wait, how do airplanes and all this intersect without an explosion?
So airplanes come in, like, in between 11 a.m. and noon. Airplanes will fly in and land, and then once the planes are in, they're in till the end of the event. The end of the event is at 7 p.m. So early goers that want to get there early and watch the planes fly in, that's before noon. And then once the planes land, then the general admission, general population starts showing up between 12 and 3 p.m. And during that window, it's just to allow the masses to come in, us get all the motorcycles parked, all the hot rodders parked. And then once the masses are in, and yes, we've got live music playing during all this. We've got a bunch of vendors out there, a bunch of sponsors out there. Once everything gets kind of in and set at 3 o'clock is when we say it's time to ride the runway. And man, from 3 o'clock.
That just sounds good, bro.
Oh yeah.
If I ever have like one of my homies just look at me and go, "It's time to ride the runway, dump truck," I'm like, well, shit, I'm taking my shirt off. Let's go.
Dude, and when it's time to ride the runway, man, bikers line up like you wouldn't believe. The hot rodders line up like you wouldn't believe. I mean, we don't.
Rockies from all over the country.
Oh man, it's beautiful, dude. Chicken Fried Choppers was there last year.
Brad.
He was blown away to see how this thing unfolded, man. It's really cool. I hope you can see it this year, Dump Truck. So it'll be on October 5th.
I'm gonna miss it.
Oh, another one you're gonna miss.
Well, it's at the end of Hot Bike Tour, and then October 4th is Sabine and I's anniversary. So we plan to be in Vegas through like the 6th. Godzilla.
It's all right, buddy. Hey, let's get you through one more year, and then we'll get you back to Charlotte next year.
I can't do it all, but I want to.
Hey, at least you're out there living the good life, man.
Yeah, I'll be riding motorcycles with a smile on my face with the one I love more than everybody else. So, like, I won't be upset, but I will have a little bit of FOMO. I will have a little bit of FOMO, which is hard to do while you're in Vegas making bad decisions with the one you love.
That's right.
You ain't thinking about nothing else, but I mean, it's time to ride the runway. That's going to be in my brain. It's time to ride the runway, dump truck. Like,
You dang right, man.
flirting with me on my podcast in front of all my friends, saying all nice shit like that.
But it is. People are like, man, this takes me back to the 60s, 70s, man. Just,
Everyone just mobs down the runway when it's like time to ride the runway.
well, we do two at a time.
right, cool.
It's
So
two.
you're drag racing.
It's two lanes. It's like drag racing. That's exactly right. Old school drag racing. But there's no tree. There's no starter tree out there.
It's got a babe with a rag, and she's going, "Yoo-hoo!" And then everybody's, "Wow, wow, wow."
Yep.
See, now you've been there, everyone. You know, I don't need to go. Now I know what it is. Yeah.
That's right, man. And we have a cop. We have a cop that sits at the end of the runway, and he'll put his radar on, and he'll radio up to us, so we can let everybody know kind of what that run was. And
Now that is old school.
it's old school as shit. I mean,
thing like some people probably too young, and I'm not old. I'm only 45, but like I was still lucky enough to go to the drag races on Broad Street in Memphis, Tennessee. That was right down, like, I don't remember what the actual road was called, but it was basically Hot Rod Alley. It's where all the old hot rod shops were when the speed scene was huge in Memphis, and you could go as the first place I ever saw a Roadrunner.
oh,
I remember that. Like, first place, anyways. It was like one of those things. Eyes big, don't know nothing about nothing, but I know I'm glad where I am.
Yeah.
And these cars are just one-on-one, going down. And you see Popo right there, just just looking at it going, oh, yeah. No one's getting in trouble. And there's all sorts of like laws being broken, but it's being done well.
That's
and that's really dope. So the fact that you even got the Popo there, that's actually there to help the party. New role play there. Well, I like it. Maybe it'll catch on.
Well, man, look, people expect to see that stuff go down at a drag strip. You don't expect to see this at an airstrip.
Oh, it's way raw. Like, it's totally good and raw that way. It's unfiltered. It's unfoddered. It's like, hey, man, you want to go? I mean, that's what gets everybody started. Is the first time you look at your buddy on your bicycle, going, "You want to race?"
Yeah,
That shit never goes away. It just turns into, it's time to ride the runway.
that's it, brother. And man, our team Wheelhouse Foundation is part of everything we do with our OTR brand, and specifically at the Goose Creek Airstrip event. You know, you got to sign a waiver to ride the runway, and it's a $20 donation to our Team Wheelhouse 501c3. It's all taxable, tax deductions, and what our Team Wheelhouse 501c3 is all about is our executive director growing up through his childhood. He was severely bullied, and to escape kind of that bulliness and his mental health issues that came from being bullied, he leaned into the car culture way back when, and working on cars helped him. That was his escape. And ever since we started the OTR brand, he was like, Adam, do you mind if I associate our Team Wheelhouse Foundation with the OTR brand? And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, absolutely not, man. Like, and so what we're doing now is through the OTR brand and our Team Wheelhouse Foundation, we're leaning into the motorcycle and hot rod culture significantly, and doing what we can to change the stigma around mental health. And we've got a couple cool initiatives that we've unrolled over the last couple months tied to our Team Wheelhouse Foundation. And
yeah, I've been seeing a lot of that, and like, it's a big part of what motorcycle people are about, or even horsepower people. There's very rarely do you see something fun happening without an opportunity to give back to a community. And you were just doing, was it Ride Clear? Is that was one of the initiatives that you were just doing?
That's exactly right, Dump Truck. We just announced that initiative, and so that's just starting, man. We're not even scratching the surface.
Let me know how I can help with that, whatever that means. I know we already tried to link up for it once. Keep me on that short list, and we'll get something going together.
I will, man. That's a beautiful story too.
Yeah, tell us about that.
So a gentleman that had been coming to all our OTR events, he reached out to me, at some point last year, and he said, Adam, he said, I've got this frame, I've got these parts. All these parts and frame were gifted to me. He's like, yeah, I could tinker with this in my garage. I'm a low level garage builder, but he's like, I really want to take this opportunity and pay it forward to you guys at Foundation Moto and the OTR. And what can you guys do with this frame and all these parts? And so my head just starts spinning crazily. And so long story short is We've brought this frame and all these parts under our Team Wheelhouse umbrella, and we've started this Ride to Clear initiative. And this is going to be a 3-year kind of project, Dump Truck, to where as this build gets built, so my brother-in-law, Paul Morris at Foundation Moto, and Johnny D from Johnny D Cycles, they're going to lead this community bike build. And so for 2026, we're going to be building this badass community bike build. And through that, we're going to be peeling back mental health stories, mental health, layers, and telling these really important mental health stories. And what I mean by a community bike build, no matter if you donate money to help us get this build built, whether you're a brand that just wants to donate for a corporate philanthropy, whether you're a painter that wants to get involved and help us paint when it comes time to painting, whether you're another fabricator that wants to come in and help fabricate, like, no matter what, if you're involved in this build with us, we are going to pull back and tell stories about the folks that really help us build this bike, right? So that's what we're going to be doing for 2026. Then in 2027, we want to travel this bike as a true symbol of mental health, and travel this build to the Mama Trides of the world, the Born Frees of the world, like to travel it truly for a year as a true symbol of mental health. And then in 2028, we'll then auction it off, raffle it off to $1 grand winner. But the whole time, this, for this 3-4 year kind of build, we're going to be producing a bit of a short film documentary around this, and telling these powerful mental health stories. Because at the end of the day, Dump Truck, we all deal with mental health. We deal with anxiety. We deal with depression. You know, we're just big teddy bears with a rough outer edge that love riding motorcycles, but we're all soft inside, man. We all have issues, and it's okay to address them.
Yeah, especially when whenever you choose to be brave enough to face it, and that's really hard to do depending on the circumstances that led you to like accepting help or searching for help or community, which is also help.
Yep.
It's one thing that I learned watching how. Give me a sec. Watching how my girlfriend took care of her best friend who's in Canada whenever she was going through cancer, and she kept saying that if we want her to be better, then she has to feel like she has community, that she is supported.
Yep.
And from thousands of miles away, I watched that woman organize and call and email and Facebook and Instagram and GoFundMe and do all of those things just so they could feel supported. And what people, and I would venture to say damn near everybody, unless you've worked really hard at alienating yourself, has access to that, almost especially when you think you don't. Because if you are now coming to a realization that you feel alone or lonely, you're dealing with something, other people have probably picked up on that.
Hmm.
And they're just waiting on an opportunity to help out. And it's really hard to ask for help. And it's really important to let people know that your request will be answered,
Yep.
and getting to share those stories that you're going to capture is not just going to be good for the people that might need to hear the message, but it's going to be good for the people sharing the story. Because no
Absolutely,
matter how
man.
many times we've told the stories that led to our mental health success or a path down just towards a healthier journey with it all, like it's good for us to visit those things to remind ourselves to remember not just like where we were, but like just remember how strong we are by seeing what we've
That's right.
grown to,
That's
and
right, man.
then what we aspire to be afterwards. So I think that that's amazing. I don't think that we can have enough messages focused on mental health, especially with how wild things are. And by wild, I don't just mean like headlines, right? I mean, we didn't used to know what was happening on the other side of the country the way that we know what's happening on the other side of the world now. So like you're getting these messages from all over, like this conflict's happening over there, or this,
Yeah.
conflict is happening. It's always conflict from somewhere, whether it's your neighbor or a different continent. Like that's the stuff that you're getting hit with all the time. So, and then you have your own damn life.
Yep.
So like it becomes even more necessary. And we don't treat our elders the same way that people
Yep.
treat their elders. Like when you look in some other communities, like they truly look up to the older people in their family tree,
Yep.
and that's their therapist, and I feel like we don't, in our current society where we live in the United States, we don't have as much as that. There's a lot of separation there, a lot of I know it all, you're just disconnected and old.
Yep.
And well, as long as you're not talking about reprogramming a computer, like, I mean, you're probably missing the boat there, because I mean that's where all your knowledge is. You can talk to the older people who have already been through all the stuff and the things,
Yep.
and so that role has changed a bit, and I really love that you're towing the line and putting that out there. What inspired that? Like, I understand that it's part of like one of your business partners' initiative, but like, where are you with your mental health? Like, why is it important to you to be a part of that solution?
Well, I mean, I think, like, if you don't focus on your mental health, it's just as dangerous as if you don't work on your motorcycle and get your motorcycle ride ready when you go out on the road, right? Like if you're not focused on your own internal battles, man, that's just as dangerous again as not checking the air pressure in your tires,
Yeah.
when you get ready to go out on the road. I mean, it really is. And I think the problem that we have as a community, not being able to openly talk about mental health and I equate this through the symbolism of how we have used Chris Shear, our executive director of Team Wheelhouse. We use his Porsche as a symbolic moment to really help open people up to talk about mental health. And I say that because when, you know, it's easy for people, everyone has broken a bone. Not, you can't say everyone's broken a bone, but more people than
Everybody's
not
probably
have
has.
experienced what it's like to break a bone. And when you break a bone, what do? We put a cast on it, and we walk around with a cast on. And it's really cool to walk around with a cast on. People want to come up and sign it, and they want to, and it's easy to talk about that injury in the moment because you got a cast. It's a visual thing, and then the trend that took off years ago of signing a cast. Well, that's what we do with Chris Shear's Porsche. You know, through his bullying and him leaning into the car culture scene growing up, his goal at some point in his life was, I want to own a Porsche. Well, man, that kid has busted his ass, and he now owns a Porsche. And he now is not only walking the walk and talking the talk about mental health at a low level, he's now putting his Porsche out there and letting people sign the hood of this beautiful Porsche. And it's no different than signing a cast. And so as part of our Team Wheelhouse display, when we take this Porsche around, people are like, are you kidding me? I can sign the hood of that Porsche? And we're like, yeah. And in fact, the hood that I have over my shoulder here, it's a black hood. This is the next hood that's getting ready to go on the Porsche, because the hood that's on the Porsche now, it's got thousands upon thousands of signatures, and we don't have any room for any more signatures.
What a great tool. I mean, like because having that physical point of reference, the cast, the Porsche, like it instantly gives some way for everyone to relate to it, you know, wow. I mean, just to even start the conversation, like it's a conversation starter to those hard conversations we need to be having with ourselves and with others, whether they be professionals or just people in our community that we support. You know, it's man, I just that's definitely part of the world that I want to also be a help in, is the mental health, because I've had my own journey with it, and fortunately now, like it's maintenance, it's daily maintenance now.
Yep.
Which is great. That's a healthy place to be, and it doesn't stop. I'm always exploring new things. Reading helps.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I think that is absolutely amazing. And so you've got the Wheelhouse Foundation, and you've got what other initiatives do you have? You've got Ride Clear that you're working on.
Well, I'll say this. I do want to interview you when it comes time to us, like getting into the sit down heavy interviews for the Ride to Clear kind of initiative and documentary that we want to set out to tell. You're definitely a subject that I want to have on and interview for sure for it.
Well, I would be happy to share my story. Just don't mind the tears. I definitely don't. I don't hold those things back very much these days.
Please don't. I mean, I think expression emotion is a beautiful thing. And so, yeah, I mean, please, like, I would encourage everyone to check out ridetoclear.com. We just announced it, you know, over the last few months. And actually May was really the kickoff month for this Ride to Clear initiative. May was Mental Health Month across America. And so we really leaned into using May as our kickoff announcement month. So yeah, please check out ridetoclear.com. And there's all kinds of ways to get involved, but I can't wait to tell your story and have you involved in that Ride to Clear initiative, Dump Truck. I really can't, man.
That'll be cool. We'll become closer through that experience. I guarantee that.
That's right, man. That's exactly right.
Yeah. And what was it? I just brain farted a good damn question.
Oh, sorry. Well, you asked what else do I have going on. I don't know if you want.
So with Ride to Clear, it's going to be YouTube series as well? Like, is it going to be its own social entity? Like, how can we find all the stuff and things?
So we're still working through that. It depends on what level corporate philanthropy sponsor we get. Like, I would love, our goal is to land a sponsor or many sponsors that will allow us to shop this and take this to Netflix, if you will, or Amazon Prime, if you will. But we're also thinking about it as short episodic stories that can live on YouTube and have a YouTube experience as well. So we're still thinking through those kind of distribution strategies right now. But yeah, once we have those plans ironed out, we'll be making a big announcement about it, and we'll be going from there for sure.
Well, that answer right there kind of lets you know like what level of production we're going to be looking forward to here, which is which is really, really cool. Storytelling is kind of everything. It's why people have been painting on the walls of caves since the beginning of time. It's why people, create content with their iPhone. Like we all love telling stories, and when something can be planned out in a way that is in effect uh, trying to help people like over a long period, like being able to tell one story through a bunch of stories, like and doing it well with a proper storyline and storyboarding and equipment and expertise and
Yep.
background and sponsorship. That's a big deal.
It
uh,
is, man.
yeah, that's a big, big deal. And
Well,
I commend you. I think that is awesome. That really gives us something to look forward to. So I'm sure there's probably like a newsletter on the website we could sign up for.
absolutely, man. Absolutely. You know what? I don't know if our executive director has started a newsletter that you can sign up for, but just check the website out. There's plenty of information for people to get involved with at this stage of the process right now. But yeah, you'll see the realness of it when you go to ridetoclear.com. Our announcement, a launch video, is on that page, and then how to get involved is on that page. And you bring up a good point about content. The old adage, cash is king. Man, content is king these days, man. Absolutely. You got to have it. You got to figure out a way to break through the clutter. And I think you mentioned early on, like, you've noticed how I've approached all things production across the board in everything I do. And absolutely, man, like, every day I wear my Wheelhouse Media hat first and foremost, and then I'm wearing my Foundation Moto hat and my OTR hat, and in other worlds, and then my event promoter stuff just continues to go and go. But you have to lean into the content to separate yourself, and you get it. I applaud you for what you're doing with your podcast, man, and giving another avenue, another platform to tell stories, because that's the thing. At the end of the day, every human has a beautiful story to tell. Every brand has a beautiful story to tell. Every company has a beautiful story to tell. And that's the thing. We as humans, we're interested in other people and other stories. So let's keep telling them.
Absolutely. Keep the stories coming. Like it's how people grow. Sometimes it's not through your own experience.
That's
Sometimes
right.
it's through someone else's experience, as long as they're brave enough to share their story. And that's what separates us, I think, from a lot of different beings on this planet is, and I guarantee you there's dogs that swap stories. No bullshit.
Yeah.
Guarantee you.
Hell yeah.
Like they don't get the migration patterns down on accident. Somebody telling a story somewhere. Just because we can't understand it yet, I guess. Next, we have a microchip in our head that lets us understand mockingbirds. You'll hear every insult they've been yelling at us our whole lives. But yeah, sharing stories, that's where joy is. That's where laughter is. That's where love is. That's where healing is. That's where the important versions of pain are, like stories. I love stories. I love that you're sharing yours. I really appreciate you being on this show with me today. I've respected what you do. I know that what you do is at a high professional level, and I really respect the hell out of that. I love seeing more and more of that in the motorcycle community, because I didn't get my start in motorcycles. I came from professional stage production. And so when I showed up in motorcycle land, there are some places that have that level of industry professionalism there. And those numbers are growing as more people are seeing that there's a vacuum there and a need there. And they happen to be a media person who's been in love with motorcycles for a super long time, and their dream job is to do both. Oh, I know a guy like that. There's two of them on this podcast right now.
That's exactly right, brother.
It's like, it's just cool, dude. I'm really grateful. And how cool is it to never have a mundane day? Like you were saying, like the hats, like everything starts with Wheelhouse, and then it goes to this hat and to this hat. Like I live a similar life. Yeah. Like my first and foremost, I speak good. That's my podcast. That's my MC business. That's my voiceover business. That's the first thing on my mind is, okay, what am I trying to accomplish for that this month, this week? Like whatever the internal conversation requires. So apparently gluttons for punishment get it done.
Hey, I say, something I also say all the time too is I only have myself to blame, right? You only have yourself. You only have yourself to blame,
I did
right?
this to me. I said yes, and then a lot of it was actually my own idea, which I don't know if it's good or bad, but we're doing it. I mean, this podcast is a prime example. I got tired of talking about it, so I was like, I'm just gonna do it.
Yep.
Just gonna do it. I don't even know if I have time to promote it, do this, that, and the other. But what I want to do is I want to come together with people I like, people I love, have really good, fun conversations that probably hit you in the feels every once in a while. I feel like we've done that today. We've laughed out loud. You even got a tear out of the boy. I think it's like there might be one tear per episode. I think I get hit in the feels almost every single time so far. I'm good with it. Keep it coming.
I love it.
Adam, dude, I appreciate your time, man. It's such a blessing to have you on the show, and I'm really excited just to get to hang out as people. And I'm out actually after this weekend. I'm about to lie my face off about how I'm not about to travel. And I was just thinking about it. It's like I'm traveling like this weekend. Oh, yeah. And then homecoming. Oh, yeah. And then never mind. I'm traveling. You're traveling. We'll see each other soon.
I'll see you at homecoming.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. Are you working there again? Or are you going?
Yeah, we got hired to go back and do all the filming at homecoming. So yeah, I'll be there June 10th through the 14th. Yeah, July 10th through the 14th.
Yeah, yeah. I was about to say June 10th. You're late.
Yeah.
Man, my heart feels big. I really am grateful that Adam chose to spend some time with me today, and makes me feel kind of cool, to be honest, because that dude's pretty cool. He's doing some really cool stuff. Definitely one of the people in my life that I admire to an extent. He's a damn pro, and he's got such humble vibes, and all he wants to do is the best job he knows how, or at least the best job he knows how to learn to do. Pretty rad. Pretty awesome. Thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate it. This is a place of community, and I'm going to continue to seek more great members of this community that contribute to something greater than themselves, because I think that is the best part of the human experience, and that's what I'm going to share. So there you go. No hotline calls this week, so this is your cue. Now we're going to be doing the podcast again every other week. So you can call this number right here, 1-833-474-2010, and leave a message if you have a question. If you just have a comment about a show that you went to that you liked, something you didn't like, something you'd like to hear us talk about, someone you'd like to hear me talk to, give it a shot. Throw it out there. Tell me I'm stupid. My hair is dumb. I really don't care. Give me a call. Help me not feel so alone. 833-474-2010. And again, thanks everyone for being a part of another episode of the I Speak Good podcast. Don't forget to follow, like, hit that little bell for notifications, and please share it. If you see something on social media that you like, please share it. It's going to help me grow. It's free for you to do, and I'll be forever in your debt. Good luck calling that one in. Be well, y'all. Work it out. Ba-da-ba.